Whatever happened to predictability? The milk.
Can I help you?
My goodness, you're handsome.
Ah, thanks. You're a handsome man too. Oh wait, you're not selling encyclopedias, are you? I mean, we got Google.
Oh, no. You're that former wrestler that has a YouTube channel, aren't you? Marvin?
No, Piers, it's Maven. Are you a wrestling fan?
Oh, God, no. My son says that you have a comic book about to come out. Is that true?
Yeah, actually. Just go to mavenscomic.com, and as little as $8 you can get your very own copy, and you or your son can even have yourself drawn into the comic.
Mavenscomic.com? Great, thanks. Oh, you'll never guess who I just talked to. Marvin.
Just go to mavenscomic.com and get your very own.
What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, we're on Variety, and they got this article, box office, Dwayne Johnson's $250 million budgeted Red One debuts to a chilly $32 million. So, let's cut to the long and short of it. Red One is the #1 movie in the country right now. It debuted at 32 million though. And the way theaters are now, if you're not consistently putting asses in the seats, you probably won't be there. Where I'm going with this is I think they were hoping to keep this movie in the theaters going into the Christmas holiday season. I'm not sure this movie will still be in enough theaters to have an impact by Christmas. It hadn't even, Thanksgiving hadn't even happened yet. So we haven't had Thanksgiving. And there's a bunch of big movies that are about to, they got Wicked coming. They got Moana 2 that also features The Rock, the animated Moana 2, because they're shooting the live action Moana 2 now. I saw there was an interview with The Rock. I guess he was doing press for Red One, and he had to kind of leave the set of Moana 2 to come do some quick press. So they're shooting the live action Moana 2, I assume in Hawaii, and because I know The Rock has a home there, and obviously Moana was set in those islands. And one of the big things that I'm seeing from this, because I actually did go, my wife and I, we went to see Red One this weekend. Guess what? I actually thought the movie was really good. I have to be fair. I thought Red One was a solid movie. Now, I have some critiques of it, and I thought they were overly reliant on CGI. This movie had a ton of CGI, and I think it probably has the most CGI I have seen in a movie in the last year outside of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Because that's one of the things I thought, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, I thought that movie just had, and I understand they were doing the Atlantis stuff, they're all underwater, so they're having to do special effects, but that movie was so heavily CGI. I would have liked to see some practical effects. You know, obviously when you got like a talking shark or something like that, you're gonna have to do CGI because the puppets and stuff like that don't look as realistic. And so Red One, they've got talking penguins, and they got a talking polar bear, and they got there's like ogres and trolls and stuff, like they got all this different stuff in there. And then not to mention when they're at the North Pole and they've got all this supposed to be souped up CGI security, and you got reindeer flying, and they got all this. And so it is very, very heavy CGI. Chris Evans is in it. I don't know. He was trying to do some kind of sound like he was trying to do like a New York accent. He's like, hey, what am I doing? You're telling me Santa Claus is real? He was doing it, but it wasn't consistent through the movie. So some scenes he would have the accent, and then he'd just be talking like his normal stuff, and then he'd be back like, hey, yeah, what am I doing here? You know, and I'd be like, what is he doing? And that seemed weird, but it wasn't enough to make me not dislike the movie. This scene here is, what's the guy? Christopher Hivju? I think that's how you pronounce. He's a Scandinavian guy or whatever. He was in Game of Thrones as was it Torrent Giants Bane, and he was also in Fast and the Furious 8, I think, with Vin Diesel. I mean, he's been in 100 movies, but if you've seen Game of Thrones, he was he was the big, tall, red-headed free folk guy. So that was friends with Jon Snow and whatnot. But that's him as Krampus. Again, definitely a thumbs up for me on Red One. And I'll also say, I went to Rotten Tomatoes. The critics have really, really been brutal to Red One. They have really just been hammering that this movie is awful, and it's 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. But there are over 1,000 reviews from the audience score on Red One. 90% of the audience gave it a positive review. So you got 33% of critics saying this, 33% on critic score saying this is the worst thing ever made. Over 1,000 positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes by people that actually paid to go see the movie. And they overwhelmingly gave it a positive score. So since I was one of those people, and it's a definite thumbs up for me, I was surprised my wife liked it. Like I said, I think they released it a little early, but I think because of all the heavy competition, like I said, they got Wicked, he's got Moana 2, which he's also going to have to promote. But Disney's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting on Moana 2 because they'll have all the toys and the video games and all that kind of stuff. It's going to bring children out there. You'll have whole families going to see Moana 2. There were kids in the audience at Red One. It was like, I got to be honest, there was seemed like grandparents, and they had brought a couple because the kids kept talking through the whole movie, and I was like, oh my God, they're getting up out of their seats and running, and I'm like, it was that kind of thing. But I'm like, yeah, like I said, so you're talking about Santa Claus, so they're going to have children there. But I was just surprised that since it's such a Christmas-centric movie that they opened it like a week before Thanksgiving and, several weeks before Christmas. So it's over a month before Christmas. And they got it in the theater. So I don't know if it'll have the legs to stay, because I think it'll get a nice bump if it's still in the theaters, say Christmas Eve weekend. This thing's going to do some numbers because it's a fun movie. But definitely a thumbs up for me. If you caught Red One this weekend, what did you think about it? Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Facebook, Instagram, I'm on X, I'm on Threads, all at Ikari Press. Type in mavenscomic.com and you will go to my comic book Maven that I am doing with former WWE superstar Maven Huffman. I got the link to that in my Gumroad in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.